How's it going, guys? I got a quick little RU match against the guy by the name of Lamfer with some numbers after it. Name will be in the title. But it's only got a couple of new pokes in here. I didn't make too many for RU, which I found kind of odd, even though I cleared out the box space for him. So I'm getting close to, like, filling up all of my boxes on my ace card file with competitive pokes. So eventually I'm going to have to, like, get rid of some sets or start another game sav or something. I don't know. We're getting there. But new additions to my boxes are Specs Tangrowth and Offensive Drapion. After, you know, seeing them in action / fighting against them, I decided I need both of those in my life very quickly and like now. Everything else I've used at least once in some way, shape, or form somewhere along the line. So I was like, you know what? Looking at his team, might as well lead off with the Choice Banded Scyther, because if he leads off with something that's going to get rocks set up like this Crustle, you know, it's going to be, it has the sturdy, so it's going to be guaranteed to get up the rocks unless I taunt it. So I figure I might as well lead off with the Scyther, get a chunk off, and then maybe you turn out into something that can finish a job. That way I minimize the amount of hazards that are going to be on the field, and there's going to be less pressure to bring in Sand Slash that much quicker to spin him away. So I don't think he's going to go for the Egg Scissor on the first turn, predicting this thing to come in, because why would I bring this thing in on a bug type? I mean, it is Bug Rock, so it means that the Leaf Storm that I go for is going to be neutral. The Sturdy is broken. I know Crustle is not that special defensive, and if it is, it's not as special defensive as it is defensive, you know? Because of that, and because of the fact that I'm Specs and actually invested in the special offensive side, I don't think that crit mattered at all. Now, this Magmortar, I can honestly handle the Scarf variant just fine. It's the Specs variant that gives me a lot of trouble. But I'm going to go into my Drapion right now, and I was like, alright, you know, Drapion can maybe probably take special hits. I have a special defensive one, and it takes hits pretty well. So maybe that's kind of a stock thing. No, it just dies in one shot. I don't see life or recoil. I kind of thought about Drapion stats immediately after, and I was like, wait a minute, this thing is more than likely Specs. So my game plan right here is to sub down with Rotom until he either A, switches, or B, misses a Fire Blast. Other than that, all I can really do is hope to stall out some Fire Blasts and hope to either run them out or force him out. So he ends up getting forced out because he knows what I want to do, and I think he'd probably just expected to come into this thing and maybe take a T-Bolt or something like that. No, I'm going to set up a sub. I figure this is a good thing to do. Being behind a sub against a Dusknoir is very nice, means I cannot get Shadow Sneaked, or in very, very rare scenarios, Sucker Punched, but it also allows me to get off a Life Orb Shadow Ball, and holy tits on ice, I love this Rotom. I will never stop saying it every time. So, get off a really nice chunk on the Dusknoir. I'm pretty sure I should be able to take him out next turn, but if Shadow Sneak wasn't a thing, I would probably stay in and finish the job. But because Shadow Sneak is a thing that these things run sometimes, I'm not going to want to risk it. I'm going to go into my Tangrowth actually predicting that, and if he wants to go for another Fire Punch, so be it. I think he actually predicted my switch somewhat. Maybe he just didn't have Shadow Sneak, or he maybe just predicted something else. I really don't know. Or you know what? Do I have Water type on this team? I honestly don't remember, but he was probably expecting that to happen and take the Fire Punch. I just didn't want to take a Shadow Sneak. So Volt Switch does a little bit more than I'm comfortable with, but as long as I have Regenerator, that's fine. I think I ended up locking myself in on HP Fire anyway. It's not a stab hit, but I mean, it is Specs. Dusknoir's at like less than, it's probably at around 20% of its HP. I think it should do at least that much, and it does, so that's cool. Magmortar coming in, though, is just such a big freaking problem. I honestly don't know what to do about it. And I was like, I honestly, as long as I have Rotom alive, I don't think I'll need this Tangrowth. Kabutops is kind of a thing that's really scaring me, but if I can get a Pain Split up, I shouldn't be OHKO'd by an Aqua Jet, so that's probably going to be my main concern here. But I ended up, I think, switching this thing in as Death Fodder, and then if he ended up switching, I could get a Pain Split off. I'm not going to get a lot of HP off of this because it actually turns out we have the same base amount, which is kind of interesting, but I get half, do half to him, kind of works out. So get to go into Sand Slash right now, predicting the Volt Switch or whatever he wants to go for. He ends up predicting me very nicely, ends up going for the Flash Cannon. That's fine as long as I'm 3-hit KO'd by it. And it turns out that with lefties, I am. So as long as I can get the rocks off the field, the Crustle's gone, there's not going to be any rocks anymore unless his Kabutops has them. I am not knocking the idea of running 2 Stealth Rockers on a team. I've done it on accident before, and it actually kind of works out sometimes. But I don't really remember if the Kabutops does or not. But whatever the case, rocks are off the field for now, which means that Scyther can actually come in and do something, which that's something I believe is coming up very shortly. But he's going to knock me out with a Flash Cannon. I know Sand Slash didn't really do too much, but getting the rocks off the field was probably more important than actually knocking out a poke, because Scyther can definitely pick up the slack that it ended up leaving because of that. So goes into Mag Mortar. I did not want to go for the Aerial Ace, you know, on the off chance that he wouldn't switch. I figured I would just go for the Brick Break. I didn't want to go for the U-turn either, because it's like it's a resisted hit. Brick Break is super effective on the Magneton and, you know, neutral on the Mag Mortar. Much to my surprise, it actually two-shots it, and I'm totally okay with that. Didn't even get the Flame Body on either one. He was probably banking on that. I switched in a Ampharos against Nick, Super Blonde, in case you guys aren't subscribed to him, which I definitely recommend you go check him out. But I switched in a Ampharos just to get the static, and I got the static, which is actually pretty hilarious. But that's a different battle for a different time. So I think I ended up hard switching out into my Rotom here, and I just get to get a pain split off as he ends up going for a Brave Bird. Knocks me really low, which is really nice, and on top of that, I end up being faster by a pretty healthy margin anyway. So, I mean, I can't sub, but I got back up to full. That was my mission goal. I honestly don't know how it ended up coming to that, but that's absolutely fantastic. So I cannot sub. I have to pick a move to go for right now, though, and I figure T-Bolt is going to do more than Shadow Ball. They're both resisted by Magneton anyway, and I just take them out clean. Crit more than likely mattered, although I don't know what kind of Magneton it was. I kind of feel like it was probably a Scarf one. More than likely not Eviolite. So, gonna go for a T-Bolt on the Kabutops, and it just flat out dies. I don't know if he had an Aqua Jet or not, but it dies. It's great, and it's a shame to see Kabutops die that quickly. But this Rotom is a 9-to-5er, just putting in work. So Mandibuzz is the last one to come in. I didn't get rocks up, but it's at a decent chunk of health left, and it's like, you know what? Even if it lives, I don't really think he can do much in response. He can probably, like, roost it off. And it turns out he does live it, but I think he kills himself off with Brave Bird, just kind of finishes the job for me. And I totally just realized I picked a color scheme for the battlefield that kind of goes with Mandibuzz. So, hey, I guess that's kind of cool. Anyway, it kills itself off to recoil, so I don't even feel bad about that. But that was the game. It was a quick one. I'm off to watch Iron Man 3 after this, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Those of you that have seen Iron Man 3, please do not post spoilers until actually, by the time I get back, you know, I'll probably have seen them, so whatever. I honestly don't care. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave it do the thing. You know, you should know the thing by now. If I'm talking to you guys by now, it's like 500 and something videos. The thing consists of commenting, rating, and subscribing, and then I usually tell you to do your thing, which is like do it twice, like ATM machine. I bring this up a lot. What's today? Wednesday? So TCGO tomorrow. LPs on my channel are Mondays and Fridays. That is usually just a nice way to begin and end the week, so they're probably going to keep up that way. Tomorrow's just going to be TCGO, blah, blah, blah. I talk about this at the end of every battle video, so it shouldn't come too much of a surprise. I'm talking about it again right now. But let you guys go. See you guys on the next one. Bye.